Welcome to this meditation where we're going to focus on releasing feelings that are stuck in our body. Perhaps it's a recent situation that you've been in, a recent feeling, or maybe it's something that happened a long time ago or somewhere in between. It really doesn't matter. It's all sort of bundled up inside of you, and one hurt adds to another, one feeling adds to another. They like to gang up in the sky, like our clouds in the sky. They don't want to be lonely, so they hang out together, and then, maybe it rains. But for you today, we're going to first get into a really comfortable position. You can sit up, feet to the ground, or you can lay down, whichever's comfortable for you. You could also do a lotus position in yoga. Just sit there and close your eyes. Relax your shoulders. Sometimes we keep our shoulders, all the way up to our ears, so try to, relax those shoulders. Relax your jaw. Our jaw tends to be tight. Relax your tongue. Just kind of start from the top of your head and just slowly scanning through your body, and whatever's tense, you can just release. Just let it hang. Let your whole body be loose. Scan your body again from your toes and just see, let those toes go. Relax those legs. Release that tight hip. Release your tummy. A lot of times we hold our tummy in. Just relax that tummy. Relax your upper body. Relax your neck, your whole head, your arms and your fingers. And then take a deep breath in. And breathe it out with a sigh. Deep breath in. And out with a sigh. And one more time. Deep breath in. And out with a sigh. So let's start with a recent emotion that we felt. Maybe it was today. Maybe you felt anxious. Maybe you're worried. Maybe you got really angry. Maybe you're just slightly irritated and annoyed. Maybe you're sad. Maybe you feel resentment. Maybe you feel shame or guilt for something that you did today or yesterday. Maybe it's a combination of a few different feelings. A lot of times, maybe we first get sad or angry, then we feel guilty, then we feel shame for having those feelings. So they're all bundled up, just like the clouds in the sky. We breathe into it. And we realize that the feelings, although they may be there, we can also take a look at them. We can take one step back, like imagine all your feelings are in a pile on the ground. They look like a big mess of intertwined things, just cords and things. It's a big mess. And we just take one step back and we look at it. Take one more step back and we look at that pile again. Now it's starting to feel like it's something that's over there, maybe not just completely in here. So we take one more step back and we start to feel that sense of freedom, as if we're here and those emotions are over there. They still look like a mess, but now you can look at them and realize, just as you took a few steps back, it's quite easy to disengage from that emotion if you're conscious, if you're aware of what's happening. It might not be that way as it's happening, but we can practice that too, trying to look at the emotion as it arises. At some point it might take us over, and whatever needs to happen through that emotion happens, but now we're past that. Now we're looking at that pile and we're saying, yep, those are emotions. They're all tangled up to an event or a person or something that happened. Maybe it's a thing. Maybe it's that computer that won't work and you're upset. But we look at those emotions and we're standing over here and we're saying, I feel a little freer now. I feel like I can breathe a little deeper. And from this space of being more to the side of your emotions, you're going to look at them again. And you're going to imagine that as you look at them, as you focus on them with your attention, because that's all they really want, they want your attention, they start to open up. That big pile of mess, whatever it is that you're looking at, maybe it's a big mess of, long electrical cords that are all tied together, in this kind of bundle. Maybe it looks like a big pile of poop. But as you're looking at it, it starts to open up. It starts to show you what it's all about. You're getting feedback. You're still over here. The emotions are still over there. You're starting to see a pattern in front of you as this pile is starting to open up and reveal something to you. You start to sense into it and say, maybe this wasn't so bad. Maybe I overreacted a little bit. Maybe that first thought that brought me into another thought and brought me into another thought created an emotion that was a little bigger than what was necessary. And maybe I can take a look at that shame and guilt that's coming up afterwards, saying, oh, you overreacted. And see how that starts to open up as well, revealing to you something different. You're now getting messages from all these emotions. They're saying, we were linked to something that happened to you before, perhaps. Or we just piled on top of each other because it's more comfy this way, and this is the pattern we're used to. We're used to you first getting angry, then sad, then remorseful, then guilty, then shameful, and that's the pattern that we're showing you now. As you receive this pattern from your emotions, you'll see it clearly. You'll start to link it back to maybe something that happened in the past or a pattern that you've been experiencing many, many times over. It feels comfortable. It feels like it's you, the way you do your emotional journey when something happens. Now imagine that these emotions starts to weave into something completely different. they start to create a flower. This beautiful flower. It's white. It has all these petals. It's turned towards the sun, and it's kind of floating in the air. And you're just amazed at the beauty of this flower. It's almost like it's sparkling. It's so brilliant. And the flower is now telling you, see, all you had to do was to give your attention to me, and I will show you the most beautiful, amazing gift. I will transform your thoughts, your emotions, your trauma into this absolutely gorgeous gift of beauty. This is what's truly inside of you. You watch this flower almost levitate above the ground. It's reaching its beautiful white petals towards the sky. You see this kind of glimmering, shining image of a beautiful flower. It's just sitting there, whispering you promises of the beautiful gifts that are underneath your emotions. If you just take a little bit of time to actually sit with them. Your flower is telling you that your emotions might feel very uncomfortable, but they're absolutely soft, whispering, beautiful messages of love to you, of something that you've long forgotten, a memory, something that needs to be dissolved. And now that you saw your pattern, you'll be able to see it again. As that flower is sitting there, you're now taking one step towards it, and another step, and a third step. And imagine you're lifting that flower up off the ground and putting it into your chest. You're just kind of moving your hands, lifting the flower, and slowly pulling it into your chest. You watch it kind of move into your body. And now inside of your body, you have this beautiful, floating, white flower that's emanating all this beautiful light, and that has replaced the previous junk pile with this beautiful presence. You now feel at ease. You feel light. You feel happy, like you just discovered a treasure. A treasure that you kind of knew was in there all along, but you didn't dare to look at it because it felt so painful. Now you know that each time you look at your emotions as they arise, they can quite easily be transformed into a beautiful gift for you. Each and every time that you focus your attention on it, all you have to do is sit there and give your attention and your focus. You're now slowly coming back into your body. You're wiggling your toes a little bit, wiggling your fingers. Take a deep breath. And just kind of start to shake your body a little bit, just very, very softly. And I'm going to count back from 5 to 1. And each number, you're going to feel more awake, more present, more embodied, and more integrated. 5, you feel a little bit more awake, your body's starting to come back to its center. 4, you're starting to feel your head wake up a little bit with a few shakes. 3, You start to come back to your entire body. 2, you feel awake and amazing. 1, you can open up your eyes. Lots of love.